again, my name, we need to, yeah, again, it's Annie. You know, there's some Indians that call me Annie G, and it's kind of interesting because it sounds as if I'm a DJ. Okay, that he's laughing, he understands. But anyway, so we have a Capitol building. You have a parliament, right?
Yes.
You copied the British style rather than the American style. I don't know. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. But you did copy the British. So,
But you also were ruled by British, no? You were also ruled by British.
we were ruled by the British, but we were British. We came over
You
from Britain, so it's a little different. I'm glad you brought that up. So people asked me what was the problem, and it was they wanted us to go over and colonize, you know, and we had cotton and tobacco, which were it's very expensive, and we could send it over to the United Kingdom, right? And then they started to tax us, and we didn't have the same rights as the normal citizen who had been born there. And yet the charter that we got said that we should be treated as if we had been born in England. All right. Now the difference also is, God bless you, many of the founding fathers studied in Britain. They were lawyers. And the one thing that English-speaking peoples do is they have a lawful society, a society of laws, and we pay attention to them. And so the British didn't pay attention. And so we said, well, you know what? We have no representative in Parliament, none whatsoever. Why not? All right. And so they refused to give each one of the colonies a representative in Parliament. Well, then you can't raise taxes on us because we have no representative. No taxation without representation. Okay? And so at first, there was a man by the name of Benjamin Franklin. If you have a $100 US bill, he is on that, and then you can pass it to me. Benjamin Franklin went to England, to Parliament, and he got one of the taxes taken back. Okay? But again, what they wanted to do is control our trade. And we said no. Nay, no. And so we fought. But our revolution wasn't like any other. It was actually businessmen and lawyers, okay, that conducted it. We didn't have what France had with people's heads being chopped off, or the Russian Revolution. It was actually more military and more civilized. So we don't have something horrible to look back on, okay? So I'm glad you said that, but you see, we are British, our backgrounds are British, we speak English, the religion is the same, and we needed to come together with England. But I will tell you a little more about that when we're at the White House. So, we have a representative democracy, and the laws start here. Now, this building is called the Capitol building. It is the only building that is a capital that has an O-L, so it's C-A-P-I-T-O-L rather than A-L. All right, every state we have has a capital, but that's an A-L.
Yeah.
All right, so when it's O-L, you know it's this building. Okay, and we have a lower house over here, and that's a House of Representatives. Now we have 435 voting representatives. They are voted in every 2 years. That means they're always campaigning. They're always trying to raise money. But it is according to the population of each state. Now, a state like California, with like 57 representatives, then there's a state like Montana that only has 1. All right, now is that fair? No. So, on the other side, we have the Senate. It doesn't matter how large the state is, how many people are there, there's going to be 2 senators from each state. They're going to serve 6 years. Now here's the interesting thing. They're not voted in at the same time. So our next election in 2024 is what we call the presidential election. The President of the United States, whoever he or she may be, is up for election. Okay. The Senate, only 1/3 will be up. 2/3 will remain after this coming election. So we don't change the government as you do in a parliamentary system. I think it's always funny that there are 2 moving vans in front of 10 Downing Street waiting to see who the Prime Minister is going to be. Waiting, to move out or stay there. We don't have that, okay? So the senators are 100 senators, okay, for a 6-year term. Now, this is where our laws begin. It begins in the House of Representatives. And then it's voted on, and if they like it,